there, and I want to welcome you to the Rising 1% podcast, where you're going to discover the strategies, the tools, and the insights to dominate and get to the top 1% of your industry. I am Gerald Bass, alongside me, JC Williams.
So, what's up, G?
Oh man, what's going on with you? I'm great.
Man, look, being grateful, man. You know what I mean? Just being grateful. Just excited about, us going strong right now with the podcast, and excited about we got some more coming up,
right.
And the value that we bringing. And every time, like, that's why I come in, yes sir! Yeah. Because I'm excited by even what we about to talk about today.
Absolutely.
So, it's just, like I said, man, just be grateful.
Absolutely.
Doing this.
Yeah, it is. So today, we got a special guest in the building. One of my partners, one of my homies, one of my brothers. Been knowing this gentleman over 10 years. 10 years, decade, right? Actually met him in the network marketing industry. Mm-hmm. We both came up through the ranks together. Both was fortunate enough to have some success. And he's doing some phenomenal things. Not only has he been fortunate enough to become a top earner in the home-based business space, got a 6-figure ring in one of his network marketing companies that he's built in, and he's helped change a lot of people's lives. But not only that, we're going to also talk about a huge topic today with this gentleman as well in terms of credit.
Woo! Yeah.
Because when it comes to credit, this guy knows his stuff. I remember him being over here at the Rising 1% headquarters and hopping up on the whiteboard and just breaking down a lot of things in reference to credit with me and my guy Antonio Millhouse. So he's definitely, like I say, an expert when it comes to that. He's also now as well tapping into the health and wellness space. So today we have none other than Action, Mr. Action Jackson in the building.
What's up, Rise on 1%?
There it is.
Y'all in the building, man. I'm excited, man. I just want to give it up to you, Gerald, for all the things you and your crew been doing. My man JC, Antonio. I've been knowing you guys for seems like forever now.
Right.
It almost feels like we grew up in middle school together or something.
Right. Right.
Same neighborhood. I mean,
right. Exactly.
But we were definitely grown men when we met, and have followed each other's journey. And have, definitely supported each other in whatever our business ventures have been. And we definitely share value amongst each other. That's the biggest thing. And so I really appreciate the fact that you invited me on to come and hang out with you guys and talk some talk.
Yeah, it is, man. Absolutely. Well, we definitely glad to have you on. And what we want to start off, we want to start off with the journey, because I know you wasn't always an entrepreneur in the business owner. Matter of fact, you truck driving, military background. So if you can, tell us a little bit about the journey that led up to you becoming an entrepreneur and business owner.
Okay, awesome. So I am originally from Atlanta, Georgia.
There it is.
I'm the official Grady, baby.
There it is, Grady, baby.
Westside Bankhead Shaw.
Okay.
My grandma stayed in Bankhead Court over in the projects for over 35 years. So my background, I definitely didn't come from money, but I wanted money.
Right.
Needed money.
Right.
My whole family did, as a matter of fact. And so, shortly after I graduated from high school, I ended up going into the military. I left and went to boot camp about 3 weeks after I graduated from high school. And on my 18th birthday, because I graduated early and I was turning 18 that year, so they let me go ahead and go to boot camp. So I was 17 years old when I graduated high school, did very well. But I, the day after my 18th birthday, I landed in Germany. So you got an 18-year-old in a foreign country, never left Bankhead or the East Side in Decatur or Atlanta, period.
Right.
Decided going to Stone Mountain or Six Flags.
Right.
I'm in a foreign country at 18. and the rules are a little bit different in Europe, you know.
Right.
Like the drinking age was 18. Probably wasn't a good idea to drop an 18-year-old in a country and tell me that the drinking age was 18.
Right.
When I come from Atlanta and it was 21, oh, we good.
Right.
So it was time to have some fun. But,
Yeah.
it was really a great experience. I think being in the military actually gave me a lot of discipline, a lot of the work ethic, disciplines and stuff that I have now, you know, moving forward. And then after I came off active duty, I was in the National Guard for a brief moment, and then I just really got tired of being told what to do. and I was like, I gotta find something outside this military. Like, I mean, salute to, you know, those people that can make it 20, 30 years or whatever. I just didn't feel like that was my path. And so shortly after that, I became a truck driver. I did that for 13 years. You guys pretty much know that story. Just after 13 years, I was just really, really burnt out on that profession. That's a really rough profession, very stressful. You're gone all the time. It's a big demand on your time. If you really want to, you know, provide for your household and pay your bills.
Right.
You can't be sitting at the house and the wheels ain't turning. That ain't gonna work.
Right.
So you gotta get out on the road and you gotta make it happen. And so that's kind of what led me into wanting to become an entrepreneur and finding a way where I could spend more time home. You know, I missed out on a lot of stuff with my daughter and my kids. You know, I have a son and a daughter, and I missed out on a lot of time with them. And, you know, I just don't think that, you know, your profession or your job or whatever it is that you're doing should take away from that. And I missed out on a lot of it because, I mean, that's basically what we've been groomed to do. You know, go out here and make some money, pay your bills, and take care of your kids. But at the same time, you know, who's raising your kids? You know, if you always at work. And so that's how I felt. And then I just said, man, I got to find something else. Plus, my parents was getting a little bit older, and my mom was, you know, going through some stuff with medical ailments and stuff like that. And I was like, man, I just need to be closer to home and be able to move how I want to move. But it definitely wasn't going to be a career or a job where I had to go stand, because I was used to being on the road. It's pretty much give me my work, I'm gone, and I'm making the deliveries. It's nobody breathing over my back to my go on break or you can't do. So it definitely wasn't going to be a regular job. So it had to be. I had to become a boss. That was the only option for me at that time. Yep. So that's pretty much where the journey started.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, that is. And I know James has a trucking and logistics business. Yeah, he started off just as a truck driver as well.
Yeah. You know, so I know about the whole journey. I've been in it just as long as you. Yeah. So you know, I mean, at this point, you know, I'm definitely, I'm able to drive. But you know, I got trucks and stuff out there, so yeah, I don't be out on the road like that no more.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. You kind of leveraging the system, how it's supposed to be done, and shout out to the truck drivers. I have a lot of empathy for them guys because they get it in, you know. And during this whole thing that's going on now in the world, those are the people that's moving the country, like for real. Salute to those guys, you know what I mean? Because everything that hit this country you gotta get to you by a truck. Exactly. I don't care if it come by a boat, train, plane, whatever. It's got to be delivered by a truck.
Right.
Yeah. That's why, you know, just even being in the transportation industry is just an important asset.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about this action, network marketing, because that was pretty much the business model you got involved with in your beginning stages of entrepreneurship and business. So why network marketing?
Well, it probably came from pretty much how I was introduced to the industry. So, you know how when you start praying for stuff starts showing up. And you really have a desire to like make some changes or make something happen. So I was scrolling through social media, Facebook. Facebook wasn't all like that then.
Right.
You know, it was kind of just really coming into it. So I wasn't a big, social media guy, but people was like, pressuring me to get on the book. So I'm scrolling through and I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool, because I started like seeing my old high school classmates and all these people from the military and all this. I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. This is pretty cool, you know. So I was checking out one of my high school classmates' page, and he had some stuff going on there, and I was questioning him about it. I was like, man, what is this? He said, I make this money and blah, blah, blah. So he was like, man, I'm gonna call you. And so he called, and we set up an appointment for him to come through. He got me. He got me hooked, bro.
That's what we say a lot of times.
He put a video in. He threw a video in of a guy that was a bus driver relating to me.
Right. I know who that guy is.
I've been a bus driver for 18 years.
Right.
And I retired in 6 months.
Yeah.
Made $1 million and all that stuff. Me and my wife, they traveling all over the world. I'm like, oh, that's what I want to do right there. So,
okay.
So I was hooked at that point, and I'm ready to go. I'm like, let's turn up, let's get it. This gonna get me out the truck,
right?
Get me back to the crib, and this gonna help me make a whole lot of money.
Right.
I'm like, bro, that's all I need. And at the time, I just give me some extra money so I can just pay off some of my debt.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I had the American dream going on. I had a mortgage and a truck and child support.
Right.
I had the American dream thing going on. So I was like, man, I can use this bread. And so I was sucked in at that point.
So that's pretty much the lifestyle, and then of course the income.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is.
Yeah, and I think that's key for anyone that's in network marketing, sales, whatever. Leveraging other people's stories, make it relatable.
Right.
Absolutely.
To other people, that's how you really attract.
Exactly.
Because I know a lot of times, when it comes down to the MLM world, some people may be struggling on how to try to get recruits and everything.
Right.
And that's why they always say, stick to the system.
Right.
And, just leverage.
Right. Leverage other people's success. Exactly.
But of course, I had no idea what that was at the time that I came into the industry. Over a period of time, we learned that.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's why I can tell you now that what he did to me. I'm like, oh, you relating.
Right.
You related to me. You used that guy's story. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I recruited myself. A lot of people don't even understand that. You ain't got to do a lot of recruiting. You can leverage people's story, and if you can relate to that person, then they gonna recruit themselves.
Right.
That's facts.
It is.
That's it.
It is. So let's talk about this, Ashton. The journey to 6 figures. Right? Was it an overnight thing?
Ooh, no.
The journey to getting that 6-figure raise, man. I was so proud when I saw my brother on Facebook put up that. I put it in my Facebook stories. I had to shout my bro out because I know the journey.
Absolutely.
Right, I know the journey, man.
Absolutely.
Talk a little bit about that journey.
Okay.
How was the journey from when you first started into network marketing all the way up to finally achieving that milestone?
All right. So initially when we started, that was 2011. I actually signed up in my first network marketing company on September 11, 2011.
Yeah, we got about around the same time. Yeah, me and you got it. That's wild.
Yeah.
9/11.
9/11. That's the date that I got started in network marketing.
Wow.
Amazing, right?
Yeah, tell me about that.
Buildings and bombs blowing up. Right. Yeah. Kind of crazy.
Did that entice you a little bit more? Like,
it had nothing to do with it. It had that because what we were looking at was in New York. It wasn't in Atlanta.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so it was definitely a tragic time, in the world, and I think everybody was really kind of confused at the moment about what was really going on, and so with me still handling business and going on with my personal life or whatever, then that's just one of the things that transpired that day. I was ready to change something about my life, and it was in front of me, and it was, okay, I'm finna take action. If it's up to me, then I need to take action. Because I've always been the positive guy, the optimistic guy, my mindset is already like that. I already got a hard work ethic. Work don't scare me, And so, I mean, clearly I was working hard, we all work hard.
Right.
But we got to choose our hard.
Right.
That looked at a little bit, it looked at hard, but it looked at less hard than what I was doing. Right? Yeah. I just got to talk to some people and show them this stuff and throw on a suit and look good. I can do that.
Right.
And show people some stuff that they use in their household. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how hard it was. Because one thing about network marketing that I learned, it will, what we say, expose you or promote you.
Right.
It will, and when we say that, it's like it will force you to look in the mirror and become better inside yourself, or it will force you to walk away and say, I'm gonna stay the same. Until a person is ready to change and elevate, it can't happen.
Right.
And most people want to make the income, but they don't want to make the necessary changes in their mindset and in their habits and different stuff like that. So that becomes their failure.
Right.
Until they decide to change. And trust me, I had plenty of failure. Because, and most of it was from probably lack of knowledge. It wasn't necessarily that I was scared to go to the next level or whatever. It was just lack of knowledge. People don't understand. They want to get started in 30 days. I want to make $1 million. It don't work like that. You got to really self-develop yourself. You have to learn the systems on whatever it is you're dealing with, and then you have to apply it.
There it is. Go hard with it.
Most people sit in all these conferences and go to all these trainings. How much training do you actually need?
Right.
They telling you the same thing. You just haven't applied it. That's all it became for me.
Right.
So once I started actually applying what I was being taught, that created the paradigm shift and created a whole nother different mindset for me, number one, because it was like I was woke.
Right.
Like we said, stay woke. I was woke and I was conscious about a lot of things. And one of the number one things that scare people off is rejection. They worried about what people gonna say, or they're worried about their friends and family and people close to them not supporting them.
Right.
I've never been that person. I've never been that person because I was really like the person that people in my family looked up to and friends and stuff. I was doing better than most of my friends, or at least equal to.
Right.
And that's not to put anybody down or put them down or anything. So it was like I'm not that person that is bothered by rejection. Right. You can tell me no. I mean, girls done told me no like all my life. Why am I gonna just because you tell me no, you're not gonna buy something, I'm gonna get all bent out of shape. And so people deal with that differently though.
Right.
They deal with it differently, and so I think that's what actually helped me endure the industry long term, because they said, Gerald, if you can make it past 12 months,
make 12 months.
You can make it 12 months.
Right.
You're probably gonna be successful.
You're successful at it, right. Right.
And so that's kind of how the journey started. But bro, it was not hard. I mean, it was not easy, like for real. Simple, like they say,
right,
but not easy.
Right.
You really have to figure out the pieces and bits and what works for you. What works for you, because you can get a lot of training. People learn differently,
right?
So you can get a lot of different training and go to a lot of different training, but I might get something different from the training than you got,
right?
And I might have needed something else,
right?
And so it's not necessarily that you are not getting it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people think like, why is it so hard for me? Because you see somebody get it and they just take off. And then people start comparing themselves. That's
Right.
the worst mistake you can make, comparing yourself to like somebody else.
Right.
Just because they came through the door and they ran 90 days and they got 1,000 people and they done made, you
Right.
can't compare yourself. Your journey ain't their journey.
Yeah, that's right.
That's period.
Everybody on
Your
their
journey
own
ain't their journey.
Exactly.
What's for you is what's for you.
you, right.
You know, you might need to still learn something. And until you learn it, you continue to repeat those cycles. That happens in real life.
Right.
That happens in real life. The reason you're broke is because you're still repeating a cycle that you haven't switched the habit and learned something new. That's why you still broke.
Right.
That's period. You still your thinking ain't changed. Something ain't changed. Your money management skills ain't changed. You think a certain kind of way about money, and you think everything is a scam. You know, you know what I'm saying? That means you're still confused about money.
Right.
That's what scam
That's
is.
what scam stands
You know what I'm
for.
saying? It's 2020.
Right.
Or whatever year it was when somebody presented you with an opportunity to change your life. I'm not saying it's for everybody. I'm not saying that.
Right.
And so we had to learn that as well.
Right.
Cause we were running around. we talking to everybody.
Exactly.
I'm putting everybody in bit.
Right.
Nah, bro. You quickly find out that that's not how it works.
Right.
You have to, number one, you have to become the people that you're trying to attract.
Right.
You have to brand yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's
Brand
a big-
yourself, not necessarily a company.
Correct.
Right.
You need to be branding yourself. Mr. Action is a brand.
Yeah.
All right?
That is.
That name was given to me by my mentor. My first mentor in the game, our mentor,
Right.
Chad Thompson.
Right.
You know, because I got bagged into a lot of corners, and he would challenge me like, "You gonna get this? You gonna get it done? Like I'm gonna get it done?" And I come out swinging.
There it is.
With action.
Right.
Most people just talk. We weren't doing a lot of talking. We was about action. You got to put the work in, and the work don't forget about you. Once you put the work in, the work don't forget about you. As an entrepreneur, people don't understand. We put blood, sweat, tears, money, time, all that up front.
Right.
We put the sacrifice up front,
Exactly.
Yeah.
and the reward comes on the back
Right,
end.
right, exactly.
It might not come this year.
Right.
It might come in 10 years.
That's true.
That's real.
That's true.
Might not come to 10 years.
Yeah.
But I look at people like Gerald and everybody that was, in our circle that time. Everybody may be doing something different, but they're still connected to the industry in some
Right.
type of way. But you can see that they elevated to something else. They became like this other person.
Right.
Right.
And people don't understand you can reinvent yourself at any time. I can wake up tomorrow and just like I had dreadlocks when Gerald
Right.
when he first met me.
Right.
I had hair down my back.
Yeah.
I just woke up one morning. I was like, man, I'm gonna change into somebody else, and I just cut my hair off. And people was walking by me like, "Is that? Where's your hair?" I'm like, hey man, I'm ready to elevate.
Yeah.
Because at that time, people was being judgmental, and I just felt like I was like, I gotta do something. I gotta throw a wrench in the game to switch it up, to let people know I'm serious, to let people, these people, I got something to prove. You know what I'm saying? Now I got something to prove.
It
Look,
is.
y'all trying to tell me that I can't be great.
Right.
And I'm not gonna allow you to not let me be great. I ain't gonna be great.
There it is.
I don't care what you say. I ain't great and I ain't gonna be great.
Right.
I ain't gonna be standing on stages. I'm gonna be rewarded for my work, and I'm gonna help a lot of people and bring them through the door with me.
There it is.
Right.
That's the key.
Exactly.
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
I definitely.
that's the journey from Mr. Ashton first getting started in the industry up to now 6-figure ring earner and still just crushing it.
Right.
That's the journey. He just gave it to us.
Yeah.
He
real.
gave it to you all.
That is real, bro.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Go ahead, JC.
Yeah, I was just gonna say definitely. I can agree. Like you said, even I always get humble to network marketing because it changes your mindset. Just like you always say, it doesn't. Even if you if it's not for everyone, but you could apply those same principles to your life, to being an entrepreneur.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
So I want to ask you, like, even when you first, got in, like you said, really what it was, and I feel like you was able to get through a lot of rejection because of your why.
Correct.
And what were some of the things that you probably did to actually like shorten your learning curve?
I hung out with the people who they said was making the money and was making the moves.
Yeah, it is. Association.
Well, the people that were mentoring me, I stayed around them. And that is so true when they say if you stay around certain people, you start to pick up their habits.
Right.
You even start sounding like a little bit.
Right. That's true though.
So
that's true.
That I've continued to do that. I mean, that's real. That is key. Because think about it. If you come from the hood and your mama said, don't hang around a drug dealer. If you keep hanging around the drug dealers 9 out of 10, you're gonna become a drug dealer.
Right.
And understanding that principle and that mindset, look, if Jay-Z's hanging out with Bill Gates and all these people, then I need to be hanging out with people like either got what I want and are going where I want to go,
right,
or they're just there, and I just need to like start to mimic their moves and what they're doing.
Right.
And I think that applies in the industry for real.
Right. It does. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Modeling
Yep.
other people's success and the law of association. Hang around 4 broke people, you probably be the 5th. Hang around 4 wealthy people, you might become the 5th.
And that's real. That is real.
Right.
Like for real. I ain't lying, man. Because you probably see people that hang around you. They become inspired about how you move.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying. And that's how you really identify a leader or somebody that's serious about wanting to really be successful. Because they'll blow your phone up.
Right.
They'll be like, where you at?
Exactly.
They'll pull up.
Exactly.
They'll be like, you know what I'm saying? And that's what they're doing. They watching you. They
Right.
watching how you move, how you talk to people, how you interact with people, how you know. And if you just watch people, I used to watch like Barack Obama and people that look like me, and even people that don't look like me. I watched them. I study them on like YouTube videos. I hear what they got to say and what the message they sending to people, and they tell you about their story.
Exactly.
Right.
They come from these people. Some of these people don't come from money. These people came from the mud.
Right. Exactly.
And you're like, how did this person transition from here to here?
Right.
And they talk about having coaches, having mentors.
Right.
It was somebody like that they could speak to, but that person didn't allow them to be simple. That person pushed them to their higher potential.
Right.
And that's what people need. They need people. You need people around you that's gonna push you to your higher potential. That's gonna challenge you to be better than who you were yesterday. That's
see more value in you than you see in yourself.
Absolutely. That's the reason why I'm here today. People actually was telling me, I'm telling you, you go. And I started to believe it. I started to believe it. I was like, well, everybody can't be saying this just for that. So I need to figure out how to create this person that they talking about.
Right.
And that's it. They didn't allow me to sit there and just feel sorry for myself. Like I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Yeah. It's been nights like that, bro. I just had to go in and like, man, what I'm doing wrong? I gotta be doing something. It ain't really nothing that you doing wrong. Everything you got, it's in you. You just gotta pull it out.
Right.
Or somebody gotta be around you to pull it out. You know what I'm saying? You know how you just feel good when you like around certain people? Right. Cause they bring an energy to the room and your energy just changes. You just stick your chest out and you be like, I'm with that guy right there.
Yeah. Yep. That's real.
Yeah, man.
Cool. So what we're gonna do now, Mr. Asher, we're gonna transition into our next part of this conversation. We're gonna talk about this credit, man. Of course, we're going through some things right now in this world. Yeah. And we want to definitely get some of that knowledge out of your head in terms of credit. First of all, if you can, talk a little bit about how you got into credit, and then if you can, transition to a little bit about the importance of credit, even if it's important, you know.
Gotcha. Well, it's definitely important. It's definitely important. I think more people you know, definitely in our community are becoming more aware of that. I didn't realize how many people was not aware of how important credit was before I actually got into the whole financial literacy movement and actually started building a home-based business behind that. I just really didn't know. I knew how important it was, but I didn't know. So I've been on both sides of the spectrum. I actually have had great credit, no credit, and bad credit. When I got out of the military, I didn't have a need. I wasn't paying for anything in the military. I stayed in the barracks and you know, we didn't have bills, you know, so to speak. So I was sending money home, this, that, and the other. So when I came home to get my first apartment, I was, you know what I'm saying, I don't owe nobody. They were like, you know, credit go shot. I'm like, what? Like, I don't owe nobody. They were like, no credit is just as bad credit. I was like, how does that make any sense? I don't owe anybody and I got like income coming in. They were like, we don't have any way to track how you would repay your rent or how you would pay any bills for that matter, because your credit is just you ain't got nothing. You won't owe nobody. So first lesson I'm gonna teach you is you actually have to utilize credit to have credit. To have a credit score, you have to utilize credit. Yes, you have to go into debt before they will actually give you a credit score, and they gotta have something to see. And you just gotta think about it. If your broke uncle pulled up and was like, hey, let me get 100,000, and even if you had it, would you give it to him? And you know his track record, but you know that he gambled and he do all this craziness with his money. That's how a lender looks at us. You know what I'm saying? That's your report card when they pull your credit and they looking at you like this, like, you want how much money? That is your report card. But if they pull it and ain't nothing on there, then you still get an L.
You don't have a report card.
You still get an L. It's called a thin file for the most part. And so people need to understand that, you know, that I hear a lot of people say, well, I don't want no credit cards and I don't want this and all that. All right, well, you're going to be limited to the type of moves that you can make in this world. And if you're content with that, cool. But if you want to make some major moves in this world, your credit game gotta be on point. And
And I know I've heard this term before, Mr. Ashton, good debt versus bad debt. You heard about that?
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that?
Absolutely. So you got bad debt is pretty much like people, when you hear people say, I want to get my credit fixed so I can go buy a car and I want to do this and I want to get some credit cards. They take the credit cards, they go run the credit cards up, buying all this stuff, just stuff. Like they don't have any kind of management behind it. They just buying stuff and getting in debt, and may not even have the income to support the money that they're spending on the credit card. They're spending the money on the credit card like it's free money or something. Like, you gotta pay that back, bro. You know what I mean? That's not free money. And with us not having knowledge as, you know, young, you get a lot of college students that get into debt like that. And even, you know, other people that get into debt like that and they find themselves like, oh, I don't have the money to pay this back. And they weren't even really paying the bill on time because they haven't created them habits. That's bad debt. You know, just going out and spending money on these credit cards and going to get financed for stuff that you can't really afford, that's bad debt. That's what that is. Good debt is when you actually leverage your credit. You leverage OPM, the bank's money, like you know, the dude up there in the White House, and you take their money and then you go use that to invest capital somewhere, and then you make a profit from it. Pay them their money back, but you got the profit now. and then you pay them their money back, guess what they do? They give you more money.
Right.
That's called a credit line increase.
Right.
They give you some more money.
Right.
Then you go back and do the same thing again. That's how a lot of people do with get into real estate investing and stuff like that, or even with a home-based business. You go down there, because most with home-based business is usually under $500 to get started.
Right.
So go open up. If you got decent credit, you talking about you ain't got the money, guess what? Go down go call your credit union, your bank or whatever, get you a little $1,000 credit card, then go invest in your home-based business or whatever it is you want to invest in.
Right.
Go make a freaking profit and within 30 days, pay the bank their money back, but you have created a asset producing income. You know what I'm saying? A generating income producing asset. That's what I meant. You created something that can keep making you money.
Right.
That's what good debt is.
It is.
All right, so let me stop you right there. Like, just to hit on something what you just said. All right, when you were saying go into the bank and give it $1,000, is that what you was like? You creating like a credit line, like doing it? That's what you're talking about. 'Cause
Yeah.
like, I was gonna ask you how can you get credit lines from the bank? Is that's the way like how you do it? Like you have to invest into your money into the bank to develop a certain credit line, or for the bank to give you a credit line?
No, that's not necessary.
Okay.
That's not necessary. It's a good idea.
All right.
Because some banks do business based on relationship.
Right.
Because me in particular, I don't deal with big banks. I deal with credit unions and community banks.
All right. Why is that?
And maybe regional banks.
Okay.
Because it's a better relationship between the client and the lender. It makes better sense.
Right.
Most credit unions, based on the relationship you have with them, they're more giving when it comes to credit lines and stuff like that. Especially Neighbor Federal. That's what I have my most of my accounts with. But and then I got business accounts and stuff like that. But if your goal is to make some type of major move, investment, you need capital, whatever, that's what you need to be doing, and that's gonna helping your credit at the same time. But you got to start somewhere. You can start small and then work your way up. Even if you start with secured credit.
Okay.
And secured credit is when you apply for a loan or a credit card, but your own money backs it. So you can start with like a $200 secured line and say, I want a secured credit card, but you use that secured card as though it's unsecured with money, and then that's something they can look at. It reports to your credit. Your credit score goes up. Now the bank wants to do business with you. Cause trust me, they want to do business with you.
Right. Yeah. They definitely.
They want to get that interest.
Right.
Right.
That's how they make their money.
And I think that's important for the people to know out there too about dealing with more like the credit unions and small banks, because I feel like if you're not helping me make any money, why should I keep doing business with you?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So that's why I kind of stay away from the big banks. If y'all not willing to lend me out credit, then I'm gonna pull my money up out of this. You know what I'm saying? Go somewhere else. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Right.
I hear people complain about, man, they charging me all these fees. They doing it. They doing it. I'm like, why you keep doing business with them?
Right. Exactly.
Just because they got a big name on, you know what I'm saying? That's more of the reason I don't want to do business with them.
Right.
You just helping them get even richer.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, we got to pay somebody some interest. The game is not to pay a little bit of interest. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's the
Pay a
game.
little bit of interest. Not 20, 30, 40, all this craziness, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then you been on talking about even like secure, right? Secure loans, secure, credit cards or whatnot. What are some other steps? Like, what are some steps for a beginner that has no credit that wants to build their credit? Like, what are some of the steps they should take?
Okay. So, we talked about secured cards because people have to understand that they have to have credit cards in order to activate the algorithm of the FICO scoring model to actually benefit from that part of the credit scoring model, because 30% of your credit score is utilization or your credit card usage.
Right.
So, but if you don't have a credit card, then how the algorithm it can't calculate usage.
Right.
So then you have installment loans, mortgages, car loans, and different stuff like that, which becomes all calculated into your debt to income ratio and things like that. 35% of your credit score is on time payments.
Right.
And that's why most people credit is bad. Because they can't get that right.
Right. Exactly.
That one part they can't get right. Like you have to pay on time. If them late payments gonna kill you.
Right.
They gonna kill you. Like all day. One late payment can drop your credit score 50 to 100 points.
Yep.
And if you don't create the habit of paying on time, you always calling somebody and trying to make arrangements, you're gonna be in trouble. Like for real. You're gonna literally be in trouble.
Right.
Where a person can start is they got secured loans, they got secured installment loans, they got something called self. Y'all ever heard of that?
I haven't.
I've never heard of self.
It's basically where you can open up an account. You pay a certain amount of money every month, like you paying an installment loan. But what they do, they hold the money in a escrow. So what you're doing is ultimately just dropping it in a savings account, but it reports to your credit like a installment loan. At the end of the term, you get the money back that you done paid into this loan, but it helps boost your credit because
wow.
Yeah, they got stuff like that. You got like you got like secondary lenders out there that will actually give you credit. You may have to like buy something like My Jewelers Club. That's called My Jewelers Club. They give you a $5,000 line of credit. But you just have to pay an annual fee and you have to, buy something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And when you pay that off every month, it reports. But it's a $5,000 unsecured line of credit that you got reported. Another thing they can do is if you got loved ones, relatives, or whatever that got good credit, just ask them to let you be an authorized user.
Right.
That's why my daughter has like great credit. That's why people in my family, a couple of people in my family, because I've made them authorized users.
Right.
And so your good habits transfers to their credit, and now it boosts their credit, and now they can go get unsecured credit.
Right.
So that's how you would be able to move. Sometimes that's how you have to move. Utilize your people. But the problem is, so many of us don't know what's going on. You can't find nobody with the good credit to get authorized. That's true. So you might have to go out there and pay somebody for a trade.
Right. Yeah. You may have to. Yeah. That's why.
And quit putting on the phone and the lights and everything in your baby name.
Right, exactly.
Y'all messing these kids up. I done seen that so much, man. People be calling me crying to my man. I don't want to have them locked up. I just gotta do something about this credit. They put the cell phone bill in my name when I was 5. I'm like, what?
Man.
Man, y'all quit doing that to y'all kids, man. Y'all messing them up before they even get started. That ain't cool at all.
Right. Yeah, and I was gonna say, that's why it's so vital, like you giving this knowledge out there for people to actually take these steps to build their credit. Another thing that I feel like for our people that they gotta understand, what you mentioned before, is money management. You know what I mean? Because like, if you don't understand how to manage your money, all you're gonna do is just keep going in a circle and evolving back in debt. So yeah, that. Well, that transition in there though, even if you get into that part where you are in debt and you're looking for a new start, you know what I mean? What are some ways that you probably can repair your credit?
Okay, so if you have gotten in trouble, it's some reputable companies out here that you can do business with and they can help you. But at the end of the day, if you're willing to commit to really getting your credit back on track, there are different ways to learn, man. It's find somebody on YouTube that look like they know what they talk about. Read. You know, they got books on credit. They got all kind of stuff out here, like on credit for you to actually just start learning, and then like just implement some of the stuff that you're learning to see if it works. You know, it's like a give and take. I actually got certified through the Credit Consulting Association. So I got a certification. I've actually taken tests because I wanted to understand the laws behind why something was a violation, why was something being reported inaccurately, what made that item negative or derogatory, and why was I able to have it removed? And based on the law, that, you know what I'm saying, you come through the back door on them, and once they know you know your stuff, it's kind of like, okay, they gonna play with you. They gonna play with you.
Right.
So don't think you know, everybody's heard of the dispute process. Make sure you, if you're disputing stuff, make sure you write it down and send the letter in certified. Make sure they got it so you keep track of it. Make sure they're responding to you in 30 days, within 30 days or whatever. At least it's post dated 30 days. Make sure you know that. Make sure that you're checking your credit report at least at once a year. You get a free credit report from all the bureaus at least once a year.
Right.
So I talk to people and they like haven't checked their credit in 5 years. They don't even know they score or know where they stand, but they want to buy a house. That makes no sense.
Makes no sense at all.
Don't go. I'm gonna see if I can get pre-approved. You don't even know what your credit score is. You gotta. Come on, man. Come on, people, get it together.
Right.
At least know where you stand. So when you walk in the door, you may actually have buying power. You may have a 720, 750 or whatever, but you might, if you don't know, then they can tell you anything. They're going to give you the highest interest rate possible. You don't even know if you're getting a good rate because you don't even know your standing. So don't do that. Make sure you know where you stand and then reach out and try to get some help so people can help you and put you on the right path and make sure you know you're doing everything right. And if you like study yourself, then you kind of know if people trying to get over you on you or whatever. You like, well, that don't sound right. If it don't feel right, it don't sound right, and you feel like people trying to hit you across the head, help you fix your credit, then guess what? Don't do business with them. You know, go shop around. You know what I'm saying? Go shop around.
There it is.
Find somebody honest. It's honest people out here. But me personally, I just like dropping value so my people would know. You know what I mean? Because there's so many people that don't know, man. It's crazy. I did so much studying, man, on just like the laws and just different stuff. I actually am gonna be writing a ebook on something that I was able to do. I was able to actually get 3 bankruptcies deleted from my credit.
Okay, hold on.
Wow.
We may have to go a little bit deeper than that right now, man.
Wow.
Yeah, man, because like you said, you know, the education, man, it's a lot of books out there that you can read. And you can study the laws, you know. And but I do want to go a little bit deeper because you just brought up bankruptcy. Well, I'm gonna hit. All right, let me ask you this then. Like, if you just drop a little jewels, I don't want you to put all your information out there.
The ebook coming out.
You know what I mean? I don't want you to put it all out.
I got you. Trust me, I got like darn inbox full of messages, people trying to get this information. But this is what I'm gonna say. A lot of people don't understand that the big 3 credit bureaus get their information from other people or third parties.
Okay.
So what most people don't know is there are about 11 or 12 or more secondary credit bureaus where their information is being reported, but they don't necessarily know that. Those bureaus sell your information to the big 3. And that's where they get the information from. So if you identify where that information is coming from, You go there and dispute it and go back and forth with them.
Yeah.
And if you get it off of there, where they bought the information from, then it can fall off of your big three.
Woo!
Yeah, powerful.
That was powerful.
And it may take a little bit, but you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give y'all some more juice. If they give you any trouble and you're fighting this stuff, go to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, the Better Business Bureau, and the FTC and file a complaint.
That is
Powerful.
powerful.
Okay.
That's real.
All right, so let me go. Like I said, we'll go a little bit, couple more steps
Okay.
into it. All right. So let's say, all right, now let's say if you get a letter in the mail from a collection agency that's threatening to sue you, what are some of the ways that you feel like that you should handle it?
Well, number one, if they threaten anything, then they're violating the law. The first thing I would do is make them validate the debt in writing. So you gotta hit them up and don't argue with these people on the phone. Tell them straight up, look, do not contact me anymore, and cease and desist all phone calls and contact me by mail. Don't call and ask me if I'm me.
Right.
You calling me. You call, if somebody called me and be like, is this Ashley Jack? Who is this? Who wants to know? You know, especially if you know you running from bill collectors. You know what I'm saying? The 800 number pop up. Hey, don't answer it or whatever. You know, let these people contact you by mail or whatever. But it's a lot of complaints and a lot of lawsuits and stuff out there on collection agencies and collection bureaus because they do a lot of illegal stuff. I don't know why a lot of them are still in business because a lot of them don't necessarily have to have license in some states, but a lot of them do. So you need to find out, are you even legally operating in my state? Can you validate this debt? Because you bought it from somebody else. I don't have any paperwork signed saying I owe you. Who are you? I don't know you. I don't have a relationship with you. And one of the first things that fall off of your credit report as a medical collections, they're very easy to get off because number one, in most cases, the collection agency doesn't have a HIPAA release form with your signature on it stating that you can have their medical information. That is not only a violation of the Fair Credit Collection Act, it's also a violation of your civil rights. Boom.
Y'all taking notes.
Hey, we'll make sure I put that in there.
Yep.
All right.
Yep, that's it, bro.
Right. So, you know, basically, shoot, man. Ashley just gave y'all the whole game.
The whole game.
Yeah, everything that comes from how to obtain credit, build your credit, and if you are in bad debt, how to even get rid of it. You know what I mean? So,
and we still scratching the surface.
Yeah, and that's we real just still scratching the surface. All right, so look, I'm gonna talk about one of the biggest debts, all right, that most people have in America, right? And just see if you got any knowledge on this, like student loan debt.
Right.
Is there any way people could solve their student loan debt?
Where you get this man from? Well, y'all put me to work today. He put me to work. I didn't know I came over here to work. Okay, let's talk about it. Student loan debt. So, most people believe that there is absolutely no way to remove student loan debt.
Right.
That's what most people believe, right? That is absolutely false. Now, according to the Fair Credit Reporting Act, anything that's inaccurate obsolete, and that type of stuff can be removed. So the way to approach student loans is you gotta find factual information that's being reported incorrectly or inaccurate. Simple as that, for real. And a lot of times, some of people's student loans are from private lenders,
right.
banks.
Right.
A lot of these companies have gone out of business. Some of these people have been sued, like Navient.
Right.
But a lot of people, if they ain't up on their game, they don't even know that, so they can dispute this stuff based on the inaccuracies, the amounts, the reporting dates. Just it's so much stuff you can dispute. You just got to look at the account. I've actually encountered like duplicate accounts. They reported like different amounts, and it's coming from all these different people, and they doing a lot of illegal stuff because they take one student loan. They might take one student loan, bro, and break it up into 5 different loans, and report it 5 different times, and then they add interest on top of it. It's just crazy, right? And we're not talking about we talking about doctors, lawyers, people that make a lot of money and went to school a long time, but they got $200,000-300,000 in debt, $500,000 in debt. Then you a doctor, then you marry a lawyer, y'all got $1 million in debt on their credit. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, some of these doctors can't even keep their practices running. They have to work for a hospital or they had to come together in a group and open up a practice or whatever. Cause now you got high, what is that? That insurance, if they sue malpractice insurance. You got all kind. That stuff is high. You know what I'm saying? So people may see a doctor make all this money, but they're trying to support their lifestyle. But you got some people out there that got $500,000 of student loan debt on their credit and can't even refinance their house. Like for real. We talking about people that make good money, but they still trying to pay that off. And I met people that been trying to pay student loan debt off, but they died with it. That's crazy, bro. That's a whole nother conversation. That's a whole other conversation right there. But do not think that student loan debt can't be removed from your credit. It's ways to get that removed.
And basically all the things you just talked about is all violations. Just violations of the laws.
That's what I look for. I look for how you violate the law. Cause I don't want you to just remove it. I want to be compensated for my time.
Here we go.
And for you making me look bad.
Exactly.
These people. My lender, and now I gotta send this back in, man. See, I told you I was a good people. You know what I'm saying? They had to take it off. So that's a whole other story too. The inside of the Fair Credit Reporting Act, inside of the law, you are entitled to fines and penalties these people gotta pay for breaking the law. That's real. You can take these people to court. Oh, y'all, I'm telling you this is wrong. Okay, you don't want to take it off. You don't want to do anything about it. You want to just ignore me. All right, let's go talk to the judge. So go hire a consumer attorney if you got to. The consumer attorney usually takes your case, and if they look at it and they see it's a clear violation of the Fair Credit Reporting Act or the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act or any violation of the law in their reporting, they take your case. They get they attorney fees when they win the case. So you ain't gotta be putting no money out there. You just they'll love you. They'll be like, oh, you bringing us some money? Oh, yeah. They gotta pay. They gotta pay. Trust me, I know they do. From experience. And I'm gonna leave that right there.
That's why I had to get action in. For real. So my last question to be on the credit, and then JC, if you have any more, the difference between personal and business. Let's talk a little bit about that. The difference between personal credit and business credit. And which one we should say in terms of we really should be leveraging if we're entrepreneurs or business owners. Should we really be paying a whole lot of attention to our personal as well? Are we building a business or what? Speak a little bit about that.
So initially, when most of us decided to become entrepreneurs or own a business, we were funding everything pretty much through our personal credit, which is fine. A lot of people do that, but once you start to earn a significant income and you start to acquire significant assets, it's time to make the change. You gotta make that switch into your business credit. You gotta start separating your personal stuff from your business assets. Because, and I'm gonna tell you why, because you're gonna have to start protecting yourself. Because, if somebody, God forbid, somebody comes after you to sue you for something, and they come after your personal assets if everything is in your personal name. But if it's in your business name and they got a problem, they come in because of business, then that stuff is protected because the business is a whole entity by itself, and so they can't come after your personal assets. They got to go after the business assets, and that's how you protect yourself in the long run. But I think anybody that's considering doing business or getting started in business, I don't care if it's home-based business, traditional business, whatever it is, go get your freaking tax ID number, number one. Register your business name with the state so you can make sure you're not doing businesses and somebody else got your name, then you find it out later. You go to register it and Georgia is like, nah, dog, you can't use this name. And now you done branded that name, but you can't even use the name because it's somebody else's name. But you got to change the spelling, now you got to rebrand it because people knew you for that name, but now this, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It'll cause problems in the long run. So it's best. That's one of the things I did right out the gate. I already had a tax ID number because I understood the tax advantages that came with having a home-based business. I understood that back then when I first jumped in, because I'm like, I'm making all this. I ain't making a whole lot of money as a truck driver, but I was making pretty good. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't hurt from that like that. Right. But I understood that, this is gonna offset my income from my job. So to make it look even more better and make it make it look like it's supposed to legit. When you file your taxes, you want to have a tax ID number. You want to have a business name. You want to have a business bank account. And I did the business bank account and all that stuff later because now you want to start, you want to really start leveraging, your business. You put that money in that business bank account. If you start dropping that money in your personal account, guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna start spending it on personal stuff.
That's true.
And and you're not gonna be putting aside, stuff to invest back into your business. So that's another habit that you can create when you start to use your business credit. Now you can get capital and business credit cards and all this other stuff in your business name. Most people don't even understand. You can buy real estate, you can buy your cars, you can buy all that in your business name. Right. Guess what happens if all hell break loose and your business fails? You bankrupt the business. Right. Not yourself. Right. And then you wake up the next morning and go get another tax ID number and start another business. That is. And rebuild it back up. You already know the formula, so just use it again. Right. There's a lot of people in this world that have done that over and over again. Right. Y'all know one very well. He lives in Washington. Exactly. You can even become the president of the United States. That's real. That's facts. That's why when they say, Michael Jackson went broke, they say all these celebrities be broke. Their broke is not your broke. It's a different type of broke. The business is just making less income. So they'll file bankruptcy and they'll consolidate, pay off their debtors. They don't mean they broke, not for real, because they know they were smart enough and they had accountants and people like that separate their business from their personal assets. But we just on a smaller scale, but we got to do the same thing, like seriously.
Yeah, man. Hey, really, Man, look, Ashley just gave y'all the game, even from the personal all the way to the business. I know with the business, you know, that's another conversation and go how to really build it up and all that. You know, we ain't got a lot of time for that.
Maybe in the future.
Yeah.
That'll be over a lot of people's heads.
Maybe in the future,
definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, just the importance though, just for people, even like business owners that's out there. Like they may not know, because I know the majority of business owners, you know what I mean, they still, you know what I'm saying, because doing it too.
Right.
So yeah, so that's big just to know that. You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm good.
That is. Good stuff, Ashley. We appreciate you, man, sharing all that.
Yeah.
And let's definitely transition the conversation. We're ready to wrap up podcast in a second. Yeah, so now you're on this health and wellness journey.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I'm having fun with that.
Let's talk a little bit about, first of all, what inspired you to even go on the health and wellness journey? Why did you take that step forward?
Oh, okay. All right. So, like I spoke about, like before when I was a truck driver, you know, my mom like dealing with a lot of medical issues, and like my mom, my dad, they're getting older now. My mom will be 70 this year. My dad will be 69.
Okay.
And I hope I ain't telling y'all the wrong age, but you know, a lot of things they complain about. Like my mom takes so much medication, bro, and I'm just like, man, it's got to be doing something else to your body, right? You know what I mean? And she's just like, I'm tired of like being on all this, taking all these different pills. I done gained weight and stuff from the steroid stuff they give her, and you know, and I see a lot of people in my family go through this, and I've actually had conversations with other peers about the same thing, and so I actually started looking into the CBD industry.
Okay.
That's what I started looking at, because Congress actually passed a law back in 2018 where they separated CBD from THC because they're now finding out the health benefits behind CBD and cannabis and all this stuff. You know, the industry is blowing up, even though it's not legal here in Georgia. But when they did that, it made the sales of CBD legal in all 50 states.
Right.
And so I was like, this is interesting. So me and my mom was talking about her finding some CBD products for her to start using or whatever. And I was like, all right, cool. So through me doing that research and studying that stuff, my good friend, who's an ex-mayor, who we've done business with before, he was like, hey bro, you know, which I was familiar with the company that I partner with, but I just never really looked at it, you know what I mean? Because at the time I was like, I'm spoiled, and so I was like, I don't want to do no products. I've been running from products the whole time we've been in the industry. You know what I'm saying? I don't put that in my trunk. You know, that used to be part of the presentation. You gonna ride around, man. Don't know right. But I was like, maybe it's time for me to take a look at building a business with products, because sometimes the thing that you're running from could be your next level, like for real. And so he was ex-mayor, and so I knew that he not launching something like that, like I don't know, just you know, I trusted him,
right?
And so I said, you know what, let me take a look at what's going on. And so I said, you know what, I'm ready to have some fun. You know what I mean? We've been grinding a long time.
Yeah.
We've been grinding a long time.
Yeah.
And that last run is just, it took a lot out of me. But, you know, I really know what it takes to be successful and get to where I want to get. And I'm still hungry. That's one thing you will find about successful people. They're always going to be hungry for the next level.
Right.
So I'm always looking what can take me to the next level. So I have to challenge myself, and that's what made me jump into the health and wellness. I was like, I've never did anything like this before, but why run from it? Let's see what we can learn from it, and let me see if I can help my parents and help some more people help their parents. And because at the end of the day, like now, I make money, and it's like I understand why when people see like celebrities, they like, why they still they gotta pay that money. It's not even about the money no more.
Yeah.
It's really about, let me bring some more people up with this system, and let me it helps some people. Health and wellness, it can't be bad. You know what I mean?
Right.
And even for me, because I'll be 50 this year. You know, and I'm like, I need to make sure.
Don't even look at boy. Don't even look.
I need to make sure. I need to make sure my game is on point. You know what I'm saying? I need to make sure everything works.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I need to make sure everything is on point. You know. And so I said, this can't be a bad thing. You know, so I decided to go ahead and launch in health and wellness, and they call me like, you know, my people, they call me like the king of movement. So I launched Get Your Sexy Back campaign.
I love it, bro. I love it, bro.
So, and that's simply this. It's not sexy it's not necessarily in a physical form. It's like, okay, partner with me and let's ride whatever you need to improve on. That's what your sexy is. If you need to become more confident, if you feel like you need to make a transition with your body to become more sexy, if you feel like you just need to be around some positive people and you need to become a more positive person, if you want to reinvent your whatever, you know what I'm saying? You want to really learn how to build a successful business. Whatever your sexy is, that's what sexy is. You know what I'm saying?
is.
So it's not about, you know, sexuality or anything like that. It's just, you know, just like your boy who made the song, I'm bringing sexy back. You know what I mean? So that's what it's about. And so people are, you know, because we know that when we launch something, people are not joining the company per se, they're joining you.
Right.
They're part of you.
Exactly.
And I just like to send a message and create a movement. And, you know, with that, I'm partnering with a movement, you know, with the 1,000 families and you know, our man, Coach Stormy, she's amazing. And my other friend who's an ex-mayor. These are some influential, powerful people.
Right.
You know, so you want to have them in your circle anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Whether you building a business or not, you just want to learn from these people.
Right.
And I've always wanted to work with her, so
Yeah.
I was like, man, this is gonna be amazing, and it's turning out to be amazing too. I think I lost about 6 pounds.
Yeah.
Not that I really need to lose weight, but man, I'm telling you, man, as you get older, man, you know they be telling you something. Yeah, when you get a young buck now, when you get up there, you know, So I got a little sensitive in sensitivity to certain foods and stuff, make you feel bloated. And I just, I just be like, well, let me try something.
Yeah.
Let me see what it do. It better work too.
Yeah.
Everybody tell it down. Man, what's funny is, bro, since I got into the health and wellness, man, my family actually contacts me. I'm like, hey, bro, that was the
That's the thing,
it was
man.
crazy, bro. I was like, I've been in, like, done did all kind of stuff, and y'all ain't never picked up the phone and actually called me
Right.
and said, hey, what that stuff is you got? I need some of that. I'm like, what?
All right, man.
I'm like, here's the website, and you were really gonna order it, bro? I was blown away, like for real. I mean, because I found out like one of my aunts had IBS, and don't kill me, auntie, when your business on the street. I ain't say your name, but she had IBS, and she literally had problems like going to the bathroom. It would take her like 2 weeks sometimes to like use the bathroom. She'd been in the hospital for her bowels locked up. I was just like, what? Man, I gave my auntie some of our product. She was like, thank you. I feel so much better. I'm just light on my toes. I'm just, and her stomach going down. She was just happy. I was just like, so that I love that, man. You know, when people calling me and telling me stuff like that, you know, I help somebody, and that's all we are really in the industry. We're professional problem solvers. Right. So it doesn't even really matter about the company, the product, it is that, you know, all that stuff people think they gotta know. Right. No, become a professional problem solver. Exactly. If somebody has a problem, then solve the problem. Right. If you can solve a lot of people's problems, it comes with a check. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
The whole thing about being an entrepreneur.
That's real, bro. Yep. That's why Uber and all these other companies winning. Right. Yep. They solve the problem for a mass audience of people, and voila, we're worth billions. Yep. Right. Simple as that.
That is, man.
Man, yeah, man, definitely, man. Hey, this been a lot. You know what I mean? Great value, man.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
salute to you too, because you know, even just you picking up something that's natural and going into health and wellness, because I think right now that's something people want to be able to feel good and be able to live long and everything, and we understand that the things that they put out to us in this, you know, in this pharmaceutical world,
Absolutely,
it's not for us. You know,
that's real.
They say pharmaceutical medicine is, you know, is one of the third biggest causes of death. You know what I mean?
Bro,
I don't know a lot of people know that.
That's real.
Right.
You just gave them something then, bro. That's real.
Right.
And a lot of this, and a lot of things that ailments and stuff that people are dealing with is in the food.
Yep, and that's true.
It's
too.
in their diet.
Yep, it's in their diet.
For real.
Yep.
And it couldn't have been the perfect time for me to lunch in health and wellness with everything that's going on
right now.
So, you know, just teaching people how to boost their immune system and stuff like that. That, you know, I just felt like I was putting out value and helping a lot of people.
Yeah.
And just everything that I'm learning. I'm always gonna be a student of the game, and I study stuff and learn different things and different aspects and stuff. You know, so I can understand myself, so I can, you know, give people the information as well, and just put it out there for the community. But yeah, man, you're absolutely right, man. People just, I think this is one of the most conscious times or eras that we're in right now, where people are really paying attention to a lot of stuff. And the internet has kind of brought that together, because now we have access to so much information that we didn't before. But luckily, we all as entrepreneurs in this room, we jumped on that bandwagon back then. So now we're like elevated to something else past what even is going on, and we're still learning. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
And I feel like if you don't never stop learning, if you continue to be hungry, then you're gonna be successful at something. Like for real, you keep applying yourself. And just, you know, don't let people just discourage you and stuff like that. And people will be fine. And I just learned to lead, that I can't save the world. And, you know, that was like hard for me. Because I'm that type of person. I'm a compassionate person when people are going through stuff, and I just like, come on, you can win. I want you to win. Come on. You can't drag people to $1 million, bro.
Work with the willing.
You cannot drag people to $1 million or the success or to be rich, wealthy, none of that. They cool where they at until they, you know what I'm saying, want to make that transition. And it's a wrap. I go find a Gerald. Let me go talk to him. I know he wants to make $1 million. Let me go hang out with him. You know what I'm saying? But that's real, bro. But this fun, man. This real.
I know, right?
This ain't fun. My attention span ain't that tight. I be like, I'm like, man, I gotta go find something to do. I was like, bro, we through yet? Like, I need to leave. I gotta go.
I'm saying I definitely appreciate you, Angela, man, coming through, man. This has been one powerful conversation. I can definitely say one of the most powerful conversations we've had since we've launched this podcast. Definitely appreciate your time, bro.
I appreciate y'all, man.
Bro, to the Rise 1% podcast. And how we can really close this thing out, Ashley, just let our viewers know and our listeners know where they can find Mr. Action.
Well, you can definitely find me on the book.
There it is.
At facebook.com/Mr. Action. Or you can find me on IG at official.Mr. Action. Y'all go, you know, check out, see if I can help y'all with some health stuff at getmysexyback.info.
There it is.
And if y'all tell me that you heard me on the Rise of the 1% podcast, then I'll throw in a special gift for you.
There it is.
How about that?
I appreciate that.
All right.
Absolutely. That's huge, man. Well, like I say, Ashley, we definitely appreciate you, man. So much great information, man. You laid. Yeah. This is definitely one for the books, bro. We definitely appreciate you.
No problem, bro.
Absolutely.
Well, my man over here put me to work. So. Still sweating.
Doug D. Doug D.
Gotta go take a shower.
Doug D. That's JC Williams for you. Absolutely, you all. So definitely you got value out of this podcast. Make sure you give it a 5-star rating. 5 stars. Hit that like button. Subscribe. Drop any comments below of your biggest takeaways from this podcast. What did you get out of it and what are you going to apply? And also, if you have any questions, definitely drop them below in the comment section. And our gift in terms of the rise of 1% right now, we're definitely in unprecedented times in terms of people being laid off, people's businesses taking hits. And of course, with the rise of 1%, we are a digital marketing agency, so we assist different business owners with, of course, growing online. Even those that won't even start online businesses. I have a free training where you basically discover the strategies that the top 1% use to make an extra $1,000, $3,000, $5,000 a week online. Just go to geraldbass.com/1%. geraldbass.com/1%. That's the link to the training. And any other information on the Rise of 1% as a whole is www.theriseofthe1%.com. If you want some more information on our online community. With that said, JC, that's pretty much it. You got anything else?
Nah, man. Like I said, this been fulfilled. I'm fulfilled, man. So I'm good.
Great stuff, man. Great stuff. Great stuff,
man.
So once again, we appreciate Mr. Action, and we'll definitely see you all on the next episode. Have a great day on purpose.
Absolutely.